A very warm welcome to everyone watching this video of mine. Hi, this is Manali. I hope this video finds you in good health. I am from GHG Harprakash College of Education for Women Siddhavankar, and today we are going to discuss the topic environmental pollution and issues. The video is made and the PPTs are being made under the right guidance of my principal, Dr. Ramandeep Kaur. So let's proceed. So today we are going to discuss the first topic is global warming. I hope everyone is aware of the global warming, but I'd like to put more light on the topic. So the first question arises here is what is global warming? So when we are talking about global warming and we split the word, the first word is global and the second is warming. So the word global is related to globe, whereas warming is related to heating of the globe. Thus, the increase in temperature of the globe, this phenomena is known as global warming. Now, what is global warming? So global warming is the phenomena of a gradual increase in the temperature near the Earth's surface. This phenomena has been observed over the past 1 or 2 centuries. This has changed the climatic patterns of Earth. Now, the second thing we are going to discuss here is what are the causes? What are the causes of global warming? Okay, so here there are two main causes of global warming. The one is man-made causes of global warming, and the second is the natural causes. Okay, so first of all, we are going to discuss the man-made causes of global warming. Here, the first comes the deforestation. So we are going to again split the word deforestation. De means to reduce, and forestation is obviously the forest, right? So the cutting of the forest here is known as deforestation. Now, how is it? The question arises how the global warming is causing how the deforestation is causing global warming. So we need to understand that when the forests are cut, there are no trees or less number of trees that carry out photosynthesis. Now, in the process of photosynthesis, the carbon dioxide is being taken into the by the trees or the plants, and oxygen is being produced. Now, we are well aware that carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gases which increases the temperature as it holds the infrared radiation in the environment. So the second point here you can see on your screens is the chlorofluorocarbons or the CFCs. Now, what is the effect of chlorofluorocarbons? When we are using refrigerators or ACs or aerosols, they produce this chemical, these chemicals known as chlorofluorocarbon. Now, what do they do? The chlorofluorocarbon is actually responsible for depleting the ozone layer. Okay. Now, this third point you can see on the screen is the use of vehicles. Now, even when you're going, when you're using vehicles for a very short distance, even that part, a lot of pollutants are being released in the atmosphere, such as the oxides of sulfur or nitrogen. Now, these also the burning of the fossil fuels in the vehicles such as petroleum and diesel, it releases carbon dioxide and other harmful gases into the atmosphere. Now, the fourth point here you can see is that the industrial development. Now, please understand that with the advent of the industrialization, we have seen a huge increase in temperature as the manufacturing processes in the industrial areas, it releases a lot of heat. Okay, now the fifth point you can see is agriculture. As even if you are not aware, let me bring this to your kind notice that the agriculture activities, when we are carrying out agriculture activities, there are a few plants such as rice. When they are being the cropping is carried out of rice, they releases methane gas. And also there are other few agricultural activities like the usage of tractors and all. They also release carbon dioxide and harmful gases into the atmosphere. Okay, so you have seen how agriculture is causing global warming somewhere. Now, the sixth point, last but not the least, is the overpopulation. Now, how overpopulation is causing global warming? As you are well aware that while the breathing is really important for a living. So when we are breathing, what are we actually doing? We are taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Now this carbon dioxide, as I already told you, is a greenhouse effect gas, and it is, it is kind of absorbing the heat, infrared radiation into the environment, and it doesn't let the heat, infrared radiation to go out again. Okay, so that is also causing major global warming issues. Okay, now we are going to look through that the natural causes of global warming. The first cause you can see is the volcanoes. Now the ashes and smoke which is being emitted during the volcanic eruptions goes out in the atmosphere and affects the temperature or climate. Okay, the second point here you can see is the water vapor. Now, as water vapor is also one of a kind of greenhouse gas. See, when the temperature is increasing, what is happening? We are well aware that due to the increase in temperature, the evaporation of water is carrying out from streams, oceans, seas, lakes, and all. And this evaporation is adding lot of water vapor into the atmosphere. And water vapor being a greenhouse effect gas, it is again trapping the heat into the environment, and gradually it is increasing the temperature. So the third point here, you on the screens, you can see that the melting of permafrost. Now, what is permafrost? Perma means permanent, and frost, you are well aware that the baraf jo hum kehte hain. Okay, so permafrost is there where glaciers are. It is a frozen soil that has environmental gases trapped in it for several years. Okay, so the glaciers, what do you mean by glaciers? Glaciers are the frozen rivers, sometimes we call it. So as the permafrost it melts, it is adding those trapped gases into the atmosphere, and it is also increasing the sea levels, which is again increasing the evaporation. And also you see it is a kind of positive feedback effect. Okay, the fourth point here you can see is the forest blazes. What is forest blazes? We can also term it as forest fires. Now, when due to the thunder and lightning, what happens? We have observed many a times that forest fires are there. So what happens when forest fires are there? A lot of trees get burned, and they add lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That is one of the causes of natural causes of global warming. Okay, now what are the effects of global warming? Obviously, on all those things we talked about earlier, we talked about rise in temperature. So okay, so the first and major effect of global warming is rise in temperature, and it is also causing to threat to the ecosystem. How? Now, global warming has affected the coral reefs. You are well aware that the coral reefs are there. Now, when the temperature is rising, it is causing the coral reefs to be disrupted, and a lot of plants and animals which live like animals of the like polar bears. They live in areas where permanent frost is there. So when the temperature is increasing, obviously that permafrost is melting, and when the permafrost is melting, the polar bears habitat is being depleted, it is affected. And if the habitat is being affected, obviously the life of, or the the breeding and everything is affected by it. Okay, so that is why it is a threat to the ecosystem. Now, what is the climate change? They are saying that the global warming has led to a change in climatic conditions. At some places there are droughts, at some places there are floods. We observed that few years ago Kerala observed a lot of flooding, right? And then the spread of the diseases, we have observed that global warming leads to a change in the pattern of heat and humidity, which is, which often leads to the movement of mosquitoes that carry spread diseases like dengue, malaria, and all that. And then the point comes the high mortality rates. Now, due to an increase in floods, tsunamis, and other natural calamities, what is happening actually is the average death toll is usually increasing. Okay, and why death toll is increasing? Obviously, because of the spread of the diseases and because of the global warming, lot of pollution is also being carried out, right? Now, the loss of natural habitat. A globe shift in the climate leads to loss of habitat of several plants and animals. In this case, what we have seen that the animals need to migrate from their natural habitat to to other places, and if they don't, if they are not able to adapt themselves with the changing atmosphere, they may extinct also. Okay, this is one of the major causes of global warming. Okay, now, the second topic we are going to talk about is deforestation. As we have already seen this topic in global warming, and we are going to discuss this again in little detail. Okay, so what is deforestation? As I already told you, when we split the word deforestation, D means to remove, and forestation is the plantation and all. Okay, so first of all, now we are going to see what is the definition of deforestation. Okay, now deforestation is actually termed as the large scale removal of trees from forest for the facilitation of human activities. It is a serious environmental concern since it can result in the loss of biodiversity, damage to the natural habitat, disturbance in the water cycle, and soil erosion. So it is also a contributor to climate change and global warming. Okay, now we are going to look at what are the causes of deforestation. So again, there are two causes. The first is the anthropogenic activities, which could be termed as the primary activities which is causing deforestation. And the next here you can see is the second thing which is causing deforestation, the secondary activities. So first of all, we are going to discuss a bit about the anthropogenic activities. Here, the first point on your screen you can see is the agriculture. Now, agriculture is small scale also and large scale also. We are well aware that when we are carrying out agricultural activities, we need a huge, plain lands for agriculture, for cropping and all. So for that, we need to cut the forest down. Now, the second point, you can see the lodging, cutting of trees for use as a raw material. Now, where for lodging when we are making furnitures and all. Okay, so in that, for furnitures, we need obviously the logs of wood, and for that we need to cut the forest down, right? And the third point you can see is the mining and urban expansion. See, urban expansion is where, for the construction of infrastructure such as highways, malls, markets, industries, and all these needs plain areas, right? And for that, for the construction of all these things, obviously the forest lands will be cut, and all these things, all these developments are done on these forests. They are facing a lot of problems. Okay, so this is done, I think. Now, next we're going to talk about the secondary factors which is leading to deforestation. So here you can see a few points: the construction of homes and other buildings, agriculture to meet the increased demand of food, the construction of roads, dams, and other infrastructure, right? Now, how does deforestation affect the environment? How? The first point here you can see is the increased carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Now, how is it causing increased carbon dioxide levels? See, as I already told you, the plants carry out photosynthesis. They remove carbon dioxide, the emitted carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. They use it for their food production and release oxygen into the air. Okay, now the second point here, you can see the disruption of the water cycle. See, most of the water which is being evaporated are from from plants also, transpiration. The word is transpiration there. So even when transpiration is not being carried out, then obviously there's an effect on the water cycle. Okay, now soil erosion. Why we are talking about soil erosion? Because it is observed and it is well known that the roots of the trees, they hold the what do you call, they hold the land firmly, and also the top layer of the this soil is covered by the forestation, so the wind cannot actually touch the top layer of the soil. So obviously it is also preventing soil erosion. Deforestation, forestation prevents soil erosion, but due to the process of deforestation, lot of soil erosion is being done. Okay, so now effects of the deforestation of biodiversity. Why are we talking about biodiversity? See, the largest forest are Amazon, right? Amazon forest. But what happens if you are cutting down that most of the living organisms are living, most of the living organism, microorganisms, a lot of biodiversities, lot of food chains, lot of food webs are found mostly and majorly in these forests. Okay, and a lot of animals, their habitat, their niche is in the forest. So when these forests are cut down, the habitat and the niche of several microorganisms are disrupted. And when the niche and habitat of several microorganisms are disrupted, obviously it is affecting the biodiversity. Okay, now deforestation affects the economy in some way. How, we are going to discuss later. Now, the deforestation and human health. How deforestation is affecting human health. We have seen that in Ayurveda and other things, these in herbs, there are a few herbs which is actually found in the forest. So when you're cutting down the forest, you're actually cutting down those herbs, and those major herbs which are helpful in human health could be cut down, and later they may become extinct, which further can affect the human health. So also human health is also being affected by deforestation, because the cleaning of air cannot be done. How cleaning of air cannot be done? Because the forest, the plants, the vegetation is adding oxygen to the environment, whereas this is the only source how oxygen is being added to the environment. There is no other source. Okay, no other major source, I can say. So obviously, if there is no clean air, the humans will face respiratory problems and all that, breathing problems, asthma, and all these things, right? Now, how can it be controlled? So here comes the role of the governments, other administrative authorities, role of individuals. How the role of government plays into. See, the government has to ensure that the forests are being protected, that there is no poaching, no cutting down, no illegal cutting down of the forest. Even if the forests are being cut, the double number of trees are being planted, because governments are the authority, and they have to take several steps, collaborating with NGOs. Now comes the role of individuals. See, government cannot do anything if we are not aware. We, the citizen of the world, as a global citizen, if we are not aware, we are not thinking about the world, our coming generations, nothing can happen. Governments can only put little bit restrictions, but it's our inner thing, our conscience, that is going to play a major role. That we need to understand that we need to celebrate one Mahotsav day each and every day. We need to plant, instead of partying in the clubs and these right to party areas, right to party, and going to movies and all. Instead of doing that, instead, not just doing that, in addition of doing all these things, we can also plant a tree on our every birthday. That is a very good ideology I found. Now we are going to discuss the ozone layer depletion. Before discussing what is ozone layer depletion, we are going to look at this topic, what is ozone layer. Actually, we're going to understand what is ozone layer actually. So the ozone layer is a region in the Earth's stratosphere. See, there are many layers of atmosphere, right? The exosphere, stratosphere, troposphere, and all these, right? So the ozone layer is found in the stratosphere. As you can see on the screen, the ozone layer is a region in the Earth's stratosphere that contains high concentrations of ozone and protects the Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sun, right? The UV radiations. Now, as you can see on the picture, this picture is taken from the source of NASA Ozone Watch. You can see the blue region, right? Now, there are two things taken on 23rd, two pictures taken on 23rd March and 2019, okay, and the 23 March 2020, right? The rare record, okay. You can see the difference of the ozone, how that area is the Arctic area, or the majorly the ozone hole is found in the Antarctic region, just above the Antarctic region, right? This phenomena has been seen in North also in 2011, right? Now, next. So here comes the definition of what is the ozone, what is ozone layer depletion. So ozone layer depletion is the gradual thinning. Remember, it is the gradual. It happens with time. It is not happening in one day. It is actually happening with time, right? So ozone layer depletion is the gradual thinning of the Earth's ozone in the upper atmosphere caused due to the release of chemical compounds containing gaseous bromine, majorly, or chlorine from the industries or other human activities. Now, what are the causes of ozone layer depletion? The first cause is the chlorofluorocarbons of CFCs. See, we are well aware that CFCs, I already told you that CFCs are produced by the aerosols, the use of refrigerators and ACs. Okay, these release chlorofluorocarbons into the atmosphere. Now, what do chlorofluorocarbons do? Chlorofluorocarbons in the upper atmosphere, what do? They react due to the, when the UV light falls on these chlorofluorocarbons, they react and they produce chlorine, which this chlorine then affects the ozone layer. Okay, and then it's kind of depleting the chlorine, which is the chlorine which is being produced. This depletes the ozone layer. Okay, second point, the unregulated rocket launches, it is observed by the scientists that when these rocket launches are unregulated, they produce a lot of harmful materials or gases that actually help, it is actually helping the unregulated rocket launches are helping in the depletion of ozone layer, right? And now the third point here, you can see that the nitrogenous compounds, the oxides of nitrogen, such as nitrogen dioxide, nitrous oxide, and all these are also playing a major role in the depletion of ozone layer. And then there are other natural causes of depletion of ozone layer also. Okay, natural causes, that the sunspots, there are other natural causes such as the sunspots and stratosphere winds, which are causing ozone layer depletion, right? Now, what is ozone depleting substances? The ozone depleting substances are the substances such as chlorofluorocarbons, halogens, carbon tetrafluoride, hydrofluorocarbons, etc., that are responsible for depletion of ozone layer. Okay, so what are these? The CFCs, the chlorofluorocarbons, it is produced by the aerosols, the refrigerators, and the ACs. Okay, now halogens or halones are from the fire extinguishers. Carbon tetrafluoride, it is produced from the fire extinguishers also. Okay. Now, effects of ozone layer. What is the effect of ozone layer depletion? The effect of ozone layer depletion is on the human health. How? Now, as we are well aware, I told you already that ozone layer is actually stopping the harmful UV rays to cross and enter into the environment. Okay, now UV rays is actually a major reason which causes skin cancer, skin diseases, sunburns, cataract, and aging in humans. So this is the way how it is affecting human health. Now, next comes the effects on animals. How it is affecting animals. See, the skin and eye cancer, the UV rays is causing skin and eye cancer in animals. The third point here is effects on the environment. How? See, the environment has lot of plantation and all. How is it affecting environment? That it is actually causing the stunted growth, the stunted flowering and photosynthesis in plants. It is affecting the photosynthesis, it is causing stunted growth, and it is actually affecting flowering, which is the flowering is related to reproduction. Thus, the life cycle in the plants is affected due to the ozone layer depletion. Now, effects on marine life. How is it causing marine life? The major organism which is being affected by ozone layer depletion is the planktons. Planktons are highly affected. Due to this, the food chain, the food web present in the marine life is being disrupted. Okay. Now, the solutions. What are the solutions? As you can see on the screen, to avoid the pesticides, minimize the use of vehicles, use eco-friendly cleaning products, use of nitrous oxide should be prohibited. Okay. Now, let's start the next topic, the environmental pollution. Okay. Types of environmental pollution you can see there are three major types of environmental pollution: air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. First of all, we are going to discuss what is air pollution. So what is air pollution? When the pollutants are being added to the environment through either the anthropogenic activities or the natural activities, which is depleting the quality of air. Thus, that is known as air pollution. Okay. Now, what are the major causes of air pollution? The first major cause of air pollution is the greenhouse gases, the hazardous air pollutants, smoke and soot, pollen and mold, industrial developments, and natural factors. See, I've already discussed this greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases, how they are trapping the infrared radiation and increasing the, increasing the temperature of the earth. Okay, now hazardous air pollutants which are being produced from the vehicles, such as the oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, which is through other reactions in the atmosphere, is causing acid rains and all. These smog and soot from the industrial development is causing a lot of annoyance in the pollution, in the air, which is affecting other things also. Okay, so and these pollen and mold, we have seen that the pollen, what causes air pollution? See, when the pollens and molds are released into the atmosphere, they cause asthma and respiratory diseases in few people whose immune system are hypersensitive and all, right? And the industrial development, see, as you can see in this picture, the background of the air pollution, you can see there's, these are chimneys releasing a lot of soot and a lot of the smoke into the air, right? Smoke into the air, which is it is kind of economic development, but on the other hand, it is causing a lot of distress in the air and actually depleting the quality of air, which is further causing a lot of problems we'll be looking at. Now, the natural factor here comes up again, the volcanoes and other things, right? Now, effects of air pollution. As I already told you, the air pollution is affecting the respiratory and health problems, is causing respiratory and health problems. People are having asthmas and a lot of respiratory problems. They cannot breathe because, the less oxygen is there and less oxygen is there, more carbon dioxide is there, and other harmful gases are there, which is actually irritating the respiratory channels and all. Okay, again comes the child health problems, because children are, their body is more sensitive than the adult. Thus, they problem major respiratory problems due to these air pollutants. Right now, air pollution is further causing global warming. Obviously, it is causing acid rain, the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. It is reacting with the rain water and then undergoing many reactions in the atmosphere, causing acid rain, right, which is affecting our monuments, the plants, monuments such as Taj Mahal. The color of the Taj, the Taj marble, it is changing from white to yellowish. It is the marble of the Taj Mahal is being corroded. Now it is causing eutrophication. Eutrophication is the over excessive growth of algae on the. You must have seen that there are a few ponds. You have seen the ponds are covered with green algae, right? That process is eutrophication. Right now, when the algae grows on the top of the pond, it doesn't let the sunlight to fall in the the depth of the water. And when the sunlight doesn't reaches the depth, what happens, the plants inside inside the pond, or wherever the excessive algae is grown, the plants inside, which are there in with deep in the water, they cannot take, the sunlight doesn't reach them, so they cannot carry out photosynthesis. Now, when they do not carry out photosynthesis, obviously they die, and there are a few bacterias, aerobic bacterias. They carry out the decomposition of these dead plants. This further decreases or depletes the oxygen level in the water. Now, because there is less oxygen, or obviously at some point of time, when there is no way the oxygen is being added to the water, the oxygen totally decreases, the oxygen level totally decreases, and this leads to the death of the fishes, because there is no oxygen for them to carry out their respiration. So that is eutrophication, and it is affecting the wildlife. It is also causing the ozone layer depletion. I already discussed that. Okay, now the solution is the better solutions of all this air pollution could be use of the public transport, more public transport, better household practices, like how better household. It is better to use the LPG than burning wood and all, right? Conserve energy, understand the concept of, we should use and understand, and we should stick to the concept of reduce, reuse, and recycle. And there should be emphasis on clean energy resources, use energy efficient devices. Okay. Now, next comes the soil pollution. As you can see on the screen, the soil pollution refers to the phenomena of contamination of soil with concentration of toxic substances into it. Right. Now, what are the causes of soil pollution? You can see on the screen, it could be the natural pollution of soil, and the anthropogenic soil pollution. How the natural pollution is carried out? See, the perchlorates can be formed in soils containing chlorine and certain metals during a thunderstorm. Right. Now, the second is the anthropogenic soil pollution. See, the demolition of old buildings can involve the contamination of nearby soil with asbestos, usage of lead-based paint during construction activities can also pollute the soil with hazardous concentrations of lead. Spillage of petrol and diesel during transportation can contaminate soils with the hydrocarbons found in petroleum, right? Effects of soil pollution. What are the effects? See, the soil pollution is affecting human beings, it is affecting plants and animals, it is affecting the ecosystem. How is it affecting the human beings? See, soil is where the plants grow, right? Now, if the plants are, we are eating plants, if the plants are growing under, difficult conditions, it is being, the plants, they absorb a lot of aluminium and other metals which is actually toxic to us, and it is bioaccumulating in us, and those bioaccumulations are causing major health problems in human beings. Similarly, it is affecting similarly plants and animals also. How it is affecting ecosystem is that, when these there are a few plants and animals which are toxic to certain metals or certain soil pollutants. So when they ingested or it gets into their system, it is actually causing the death of the plants and animals, which is disrupting ecosystem by disrupting the food webs and food chains, right? So this is how it is affecting soil, how soil pollution is affecting human beings, plants, animals, and majorly the ecosystem, right? Now, what are the solutions? See, the solutions of oil pollution, soil pollution could be, the we can avoid the usage of pesticides. We could better use the humus and all the organic humus we can use, right? So now the next comes the water pollution. The water pollution refers to the phenomena where harmful things such as industrial waste, sewage, etc. is allowed to flow into the streams, rivers, ponds, oceans, etc. Now, what is these, what is this flow actually causing? This flow is actually degrading the water quality and making it unfit for the living organism. Okay, now what are the causes of water pollution? See, the causes of water pollution are agricultural causes. The causes of water pollution are agricultural causes, also sewage and wastewater, oil pollution, radioactive substances. Okay, now water pollution, what are the effects of water pollution? See, there are two major effects on the of the water pollution, that is, you can see on the screen, is on the environment and human health. So how it is affecting environment? See, this water pollution truly harms biodiversity and aquatic ecosystem. The toxic chemicals can change the color of water and increase the amount of minerals, causing eutrophication, death of fishes, disruption of aquatic ecosystem, food chains, and food webs. Second point, how is it affecting humans? See, a lot of diseases, that is waterborne diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery, or skin infections, are being easily affected and spread from one organism to other, from one person to other. And where there is no drinking water, also how water pollution is actually depleting water. It is making it unfit for the use by living organisms. So there are a few places where there is no drinking water present, which is actually causing a risk of dehydration, right? Now, the solutions of water pollution, as you can see, is the first point, wastewater treatment, right? Wastewater treatment is the sewage treatment before releasing the wastewater of the industries and the home, not majorly home because there is not much waste from the homes, but majorly from the industries. The wastewater of industries is a lot of harmful animals, so that should be treated through physical, chemical, and biological means. Green agriculture is that, when we are cropping the whatever the plants are being sown, that is according to the climate. We are not going against the climate, and thus it is protecting water and ground wells, groundwater and all, right? Also, the third point here you can see is the rainwater harvesting. Now, rainwater harvesting is actually, collecting of the, when there is rain, we are actually collecting that extra water, because collecting that extra water, and that will be used later. So it is also, if we have extra water, which we save from the rain, we can use it for other activities later, right? Now, pollution of air prevention. See, I told you all the pollutions are interrelated. When air pollution is there, when there are a lot of greenhouse gases in the air, which is causing a lot of evaporation of water. So somewhere it is, affecting the water quality also. Now, the second last point here you can see on the screen is the plastic waste reduction. As you decrease the use of plastic, because plastic is biodegradable, and it requires a lot of years, millions of years to degrade. And it is, people are throwing plastic waste into the water, and it is majorly causing water pollution there, right? Water conservation could be a solution, right? So I hope you liked my video, and I'll be sharing the script of this whatever in the downwards. I hope you liked it. I hope everything is clear. So thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.